All right, folks, I was about to do something and I just figured why not document it so people can know how to do it. I don't know if there's a lot of videos. I didn't have a chance to look it up, but I probably will kind of fish and see what's out there. It's such a simple maneuver that maybe most people might think it's pointless to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and document it because I'm gonna get into it. Disclaimer, I have never done this. So I am going to be feeling this out for the first time myself as I film it, right? So the AeroSout, and by the way, big shouts out to Jody from Nomac. He gave me this plane. And my purpose of wanting it, I know you guys saw me fly, and an AeroSout is not very characteristic of somebody who's been flying for a while. I understand that. I bought an AeroSout very beginning. It was my first plane when I got back into flying, and I set it up on my DX8, which it came with its radio, but you know, I set it up on my DX8 because I was just excessive. I wanted my fancy radio, and I didn't fly it for over a year or something. Just had it sitting there. And anyway, when I finally got to fly it, I flew great. I actually flew an Ultrix. I bought the 600 Ultrix, which is the bigger one. And I flew it first because to me, it was like less stress in my mind. Little did I know the Ultrix was way more, probably going to be a way more stressful airplane. But anyway, the Ultrix flew fine. I had the gumption. I could get into the AeroSout. I got into the AeroSout. I flew it around. I was like pumped. I was like, all right, this is good. The safe mode thing changed everything about what I flew back in the day when I was flying Zaggy wings and stuff and my little Zero, having no safe mode at all. I just didn't like the fact that when you let it grow, it wouldn't center. So I don't want to get into a big rant with people on that. This is not what this video is about. What I am talking about is BuddyBoxing. So at the end of the day, I got this plane for this purpose, and that was what I went into all of that for. We get so many people come out to the field, and what do they never want to buy? They never want to buy the AeroSout. I mean, it's not the looker, right? Nobody wants this. They want to buy twin timber and, you know, all kinds of other choices that are not ideal or not even good at all. I'm not going to even say not ideal, just terrible choices. You know, like a Habu for your first plane, like terrible choice, right? If you don't agree, just put it in the comments, beat me up on that. Either way, I think the AeroSout is a great first choice. I disagree with people who market the Apprentice as the best first choice. And I'm going to tell you why. I've had several people pop up with an Apprentice, and the ease of getting them into the air is definitely much harder with the Apprentice than it is with the AeroSout. You basically put this thing together, turn it on, put the battery in, and you're flying. With the Apprentice, we have to always do all kinds of, and you can get the elevator where it looks like it's good, but when you try to fly the aircraft is trying to do a loop and flip over. Not good for a beginner to be taken off the first time himself, you know, maiden in his own bird, which we probably wouldn't do. Somebody else would take it up. But the point is, you're buying it for your first time. You're going to go out to some random place where you think you can fly, right? And you want an aircraft that you can fly then. The Apprentice, in my 3 tries with it, 3 times, 3 different people have bought it, and it could not fly. As a matter of fact, the first time, the one that just flew recently is what made me want to get this AeroSout, because he went to the local shop. You know, they sent him right to where the birds that make sense are, the AeroSout and the Apprentice. Of course, the guy's gonna choose the one with the propeller in the front. It looks cooler. Not much, but anyway, it looks cooler. So he came out there with it, and he put it in the air. He had to hand it to me. I stood right there because I already know what the deal is. And I had him hand it to me. I went ahead and got it back in, and it was flyable, but nightmarishly flyable. He ended up putting a battery that was too light in it, which made it kind of maybe a little tail heavy, you know. Anyway, long story short, it wasn't very flyable. And that is the 3rd time somebody's come out with one of those that I just feel like it wasn't ideal, you know. The AeroSout uses a 3-cell battery, a lightweight battery. It flies great with any of the choices. You can even put a 1300 in there, I think. So this is the good setup. So having said all that, this is kind of a beginner video. That's why I went into all that. So somebody who might click on this wondering about a BuddyBox would be somebody who's wanting to know this info. So without any further ado, let's get into the thing we're here for, setting up. This thing came with a DXE or DXS, and I don't even know if this is gonna work. But I'm thinking the Spektrum wireless trainer should be set up to work with this because this is their beginner setup. So why wouldn't it work, right? So, all right, the AeroSout works perfectly with its own radio, right? I'm not going to waste any time on extra stuff that explains that situation. I'm just going to go directly into what we're here for, and that is to set up this IX radio as a BuddyBox. So I got a battery sitting in there. I don't have the wing on tight, but I don't feel like taking it off. But they conveniently put this little bind plug that's always in the way. Now I see why it's in the way, because it makes it easier for you to do what you need to do here. Let's go ahead and get this part out the way, though. In a request to be thorough about it, I'm gonna go ahead and start from any model on your radio, right? I'm gonna hit the name of the model, the F22. I'm gonna hit and hold proceed. All right, that single tap allowed me to get to the 3 dots here. So the 3 dots are here. I'm gonna hit add new model, the first thing at the top. I don't know if it's gonna be in here, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna hit bind and fly. So then from there, I'm gonna go over to, what is the name of this? Oh, hobby zone. It's written on the wing. So there's hobby zone and park zone. So this is a hobby zone. First thing on the list, AeroSout. Hit it. All right, so now from there, I'm gonna just scroll down to the bottom of my list, and there it is, AeroSout. I'm gonna go ahead and click this. I might just take a picture. Oh no, wait, there's this cool picture of it right there. Go ahead and use that. From here, I don't need anything else category. All right, I'm gonna hit AeroSout is gonna be fine for me. I'm not gonna rename it even. Everything I need is there and perfect. All right, go ahead and back. The lights came on the radio, so it's putting out a signal. Got a blank model here. Let's check some, see what's going on. Do rate and expo. Yep, so stuff is working, right? So all the stuff that you get in a bind and fly is there, all right? I'm gonna go to the monitor right fast. I'm gonna press this button on the top of the radio, this, and see what channel that's assigned to, because that is on channel 6. I'm gonna check my safe mode button, which I highlight with a yellow boot, and that's on channel 5. Everything is pretty logical. It should be a perfect match for what I got there. I'm probably gonna change that 6 channel from a button to a switch, because I don't want to be holding that down while somebody's flying. So I'm gonna put it on switch A because the AeroSout doesn't have gear. How about that? Sounds good. So on the AeroSout, switch A isn't doing anything. Look like it might be attached to something, but anyway, unimportant. So I got my model created. I'm gonna go ahead and bind to my aircraft. Get the AeroSout brought over. I am going to put a bindy pluggy in, and I'm going to back out of here, and I'm going to go to this front page. I am going to connect the aircraft, and the bind plug's in, so I'm just hit bind, press and hold bind.
Bind complete. DSMX 22 milliseconds.
All right, successful bind. It's going to do some packets after this, I'm sure. It has the safe mode set up already. I heard the double twitch. I'm going to remove this, give it a second for packets. I don't just want to disturb anything while it's downloading or anything left. All right, it's finished. I'm going to disconnect the bird. I like to do this. This just might not be necessary, but I like to just get a fresh start after a bind like that. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back into the radio to show you what I'm going to do next. So bind plug is removed. I'm going to go ahead and attach
Battery
the aircraft.
not charged for flying.
It's going to tell me battery not charged for flying, so I'm getting all my tech there. All right, so I am going to check my aircraft. So, all right, even the little extra mix with rudder for the aileron, so I'm just turning it around. So yep, then I'm going to check and see if that second mode works. All right, there's no rudder mixed in with it. There's a lot more throw. and it's still stopping you from flipping over. And I'm gonna check the third mode, which would be, yep, everything's working. All the switches working in the right formation I need. Let's check that button. I'm gonna turn it to professional mode, which means it won't shut off or do any kind of things. I'm gonna hold it over, and then I'm gonna press the button. Yep, you heard it. So the safety little button that I never really do on any other aircraft, but on the AeroScout, it's already there, so I went ahead and did it. Rates work, everything works, right? Let's check motor. Everything works, and throttle cut and everything's already set up. All right, so I'm convinced with the Bird, everything looks like it works good, like it did with the stock radio. I'm gonna go back to the radio now, and for our next step in this install or transmitter setup, let's call it. All right, from here, I'm gonna look in, I know it's not here. Yeah, that's stuff you use on a daily basis. I'm gonna go to here, trainer, there it is. So I'm gonna hit trainer. Wired trainer, wireless trainer, trainer alerts. All right, I'm gonna check it from inhibit. Okay, you can't select, if you select inhibit to select something else, you can't select it, it just goes back off. So these are your choices. Pilot link instructor is, I believe, what we want. So I'll probably have to jump off and do a little manual reading right fast to see, or some Google searching to find out about it, but I'm fairly confident that what I want is a pilot link. I think programmable leads to, if you want to have like, and programmable is probably pretty good. Let's say the person has an AeroScout and they want to fly it after you. You just want to bind your radio to it right fast, and then they can. It's not a perfect situation to explain that with an AeroScout because this radio is so easy to deal with. But if they have some other aircraft and you want to be able to match everything with your radio and their radio, you do it that way. I don't want to do it that way. I want to do pilot instructor, pilot link. So I'm gonna hit that. I think that's what I want. Long press. All right. The aircraft lost RF. The lights went off on the thing here. Pilot link instructor. Yep. All right. So that's switched. All right. Here you go. Right what I needed right off the back. So switch I. I don't want that. I'm gonna hit
Instructor control.
A. All right. So, and it says
No student signal.
no
Instructor
student.
control.
All right. So it wouldn't say student signal because we are. And this is what you control from a student. It's giving them the big four, but it's not giving them safe mode. So I'm gonna give them safe mode so that I can allow them to do it without me taking control, just to turn safe mode off, and they can try it. And I just won't, offer it as a choice until they get to that level. But anyway, I'm gonna give them that control. Then bind. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. All right, I'm gonna put this there. Oh, I'm gonna put it right there. Trying to keep you out of the glare, guy. All right, I'm gonna just hold this in front. I'm gonna hit bind, and then it says bind.
Binding.
All right, so now that's binding. So I'm gonna take this radio, I'm gonna hold down the bind button, I'm gonna press this until it comes on, I'm gonna let go, and it's doing some blinky. I'm still holding the bind button, and just that fast, it's stopped its little maneuver and went solid. So let's see what's happening. This is taking long. Might be a situation where I might have to redo it because it's taking too long. I don't think it should take that long. Let me back. Yep, it went back. So I'm gonna go bind again. And I gotta get the other one turned off. I'm gonna hit bind and hold it.
Binding.
I'm gonna hold this down and I'm gonna push this on. All right, comes on instantly.
Bind complete. DSMX
Oh, and that's about how
milliseconds.
fast I was expecting it to happen. All right, so now this is there. I don't see anything else in here that would be touchable, so let's just go with that. So from here, I am going to try to get you on the Bird a little bit. So RF is still off because I'm still in this setup area. Let's see, trainer alerts, instructor control. Let's change this from student control. Let's make it something cool. All right, let's see what that sounds like.
You got it. Instructor control.
Yep, so when I switch it to them, it'll say
You got it. Instructor control. You got it. Instructor control.
all right, so I might change the one that says instructor control also, but that was just to show you can do cool things with the IX that you can't do with the others, and that's one of the perks. I'm gonna do a video on just the coolness of having the IX versus the NX for all the people who like are on the fence, because I am not on the fence. All right, back. Got my RF signal back. I'm gonna check my aircraft. Right turn, left turn, up turn. Okay, we got a hose because we turned off RF and now it's recognizing that there was one. All right, I got my rudder mixed with my aileron. I still got full rudder control. I got elevator. I got everything I need on here. And let's see what I got on here. Should be nothing. All right, got nothing. Let's check throttle. Nothing. Turn that throttle cut off. I got throttle. Throttle cut back on. Let's check safe mode. Yep, safe mode working. Safe mode off. That's working. Everything works on the master radio. Now, I'm going to hit, make sure my throttle's down.
You got it.
All right, now they have it. And I have full control on aileron, full control on elevator, full control on rudder. Now, they have the capability of switching between safe mode on and safe mode off. And let's see where the aircraft is now, because my radio is on safe mode off. So that's where it is. So, and their radio is on safe mode on. So let's see. Yep, so once I switched it to them and their safe mode switch was on, it automatically went to safe mode on. So then let's say they're flying and I want to take control, and it says it and it does it, because I hit that instructor override. So I don't have to flip that switch to give it to them. But notice now this switch is up, which means it's in student control. I manually took it by touching any control on here, so they don't have anything now. But in order to give it back to them, instead of just like the push button thing, which I don't think I'd want to hold that down the whole time, I'm gonna flip that down, and it's gonna be, it says nothing, right? Because I already have control. So it's not gonna tell me I have control because I already have control. But when I switch it back to here,
you got it.
So back to you got it. So now they should have it. And that's it. That's the whole thing. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about within there. You can customize your call out. You got everything you basically need. I checked safe mode in both, and that's a kind of cool situation if you do allow them to. Let's say I'm gonna put this in safe, and I'm gonna put theirs in safe, right? Both of them are in safe, right? And now they got it still, right? All right, let's just start that over again. Instructor control. I got it, right? I'm gonna flip it off to back to constructor control.
You got it.
All right, and so now I'm in safe mode and they're in safe mode. So I want to know if I can go in while I'm in safe mode on the master. Can I go out of safe mode on the trainer? All right, safe mode is on. I'm gonna flip it off, and you can. So now I'm curious, once I hit something and take control, does it turn it back into safe mode instantly, or does it stay in the mode they were in? All right, let's try that. All right.
Instructor control.
Instructor control. So I'm gonna turn. Yep, I think it's, yep, it's in safe mode. So whatever position I leave it in, that's where it's gonna automatically revert back to once I take back control. So that answers all my questions about it. This wasn't too hard. Anybody trying to do it, this is it. The simple maneuver. You could easily do it at the field, and that's what I plan on doing with it. That's what this aircraft is going to be mostly for. When somebody's brand new, I can take them up, let them fly without the worries of them crashing their bird or mine. This should be very good for me. So that's the whole skinny of it. Setting up your DXS that came with your AeroScout or Apprentice or any other aircraft that it comes with. The Habus come with it. You can set up any of those aircraft to a radio that's computer controlled that has the menus in it. Even the older radios still had the trainer. Even if you got like a DX6E, you can still do it and help out and do a BuddyBox situation and you know, perfect stuff at the field. A question that someone might ask, well, once you set it up on your radio, will they be able to bind right back if it's another person's aircraft and then fly? Yes, the AeroScout is already fully set up on this radio. Soon as you bind it right back to your, you know, your aircraft to your radio again, everything is going to be right where it was. Nothing's changed. You're not changing any of the operations. You'll be able to do it. So that would make sense mostly. Like, you know, okay, the guy comes out, he's got an AeroScout. You hook up your radio, you set up everything on your radio, dual rates and all that good stuff. And of course, he won't have that when he switches back to this. I think there is rate set up. There is rate set up with this F switch. So anyway, he'll have his rates where they were, or you could just leave them like they were, and he can just bind right back and fly his aircraft just like he could have before you touched it. Shouldn't impede anything. That's the entire maneuver. If you have questions, put them in a comment. If you need a follow-up video done to explain something, I'll gladly do it as always. I'm just a guy. I'm not one of these experts. I just went into this for the first time today with you all. We went on this, we embarked upon this mission together. And there's that one thing in question, was that second choice you had in here under trainer. Oh, not timers. Trainer. Wireless trainer. Proceed. Pilot link instructor. And the other one is programmable instructor. I'm going to hit pause right now and look up what it is, because the one that I chose, the pilot link, that's what I wanted. I wanted the pilot link. Let me explain what the other one does. So I looked it up. And this is the manual for the iX20. It should be the same for whatever radio you're using, maybe just worded differently. But the programmable instructor, that's the one I did not choose, is an instructor that requires a student transmitter to be fully configured, including reversing mixes. Everything has to be configured. Yeah, I didn't want to do that, because there was a simpler option for just doing what I want to do, which is this training mode requires a student to have no settings applied, no reversing, everything normal. So that means I can bind to anybody's stuff real quick, get what I need to get done, and that's it. And then it goes into trainer alert. So the manual on this thing is so awesome too. Like, you know, everything you might have a question for, you can easily download this or search it on Google and pull it up and get everything you need. So that's all I really got to say. All the info is in the video. If you have questions, give me a holler. I'll hit you up with the comment that answers your question. If not, I'll do a video to answer the question, but that'll get you in the air with a wireless trainer setup with no issues. Pooley out. Thanks for watching. All right, folks, I'm out at the flight line. I have the AeroScout. I have
Instructor control.
All right, I have control. I got Mr. Larry. Might be on the wrong side of him, but I'm gonna go ahead and
You got it.
all right, he got it. So we're gonna step back off the flight line here and commence to doing the check of this system.
Instructor control.
I didn't check safe or anything, but we don't need it if we don't need it. All right.
I'm not in control either.
All right. I touched control, so now the pilot didn't have it. I'm gonna.
Got it.
You got it.
Yep, I got it. Up, down, left, right. Yep.
Go.
Yep, safe.
All right, I'm using the chest rig. This is not gonna be a video for like a whole lot of footage to be gathered. So I'm gonna just get you a little quickie on this, because it's about the setup more than it is the flight. But Mr. Larry is not flying like a beginner, so it's gonna be hard for me to kind of judge. He's actually looked like he's enjoying the AeroScout quite a bit. Some slow flying. And in safe mode, you get those sweeping turns, and it adds rudder on its own. So, you know, it's kind of like a cool setup for a beginner. But considering, let's say he refuses to do anything crazy, so then I am going to
Instructor
take control. All right, I got the airplane up high. I can flip off my switch and get it level.
You got it.
And then I give it back to the driver. So, hey, he's flying again. Like, this is a good setup. I can't wait so I can try this with a person who's coming out to learn to fly, and they come with some silly aircraft. I can whip this out and be like, hey man, come here, fly this. That's all I really got to say about it. Go ahead and let him, he's coming in for a landing. Perfect. All right, Pooley out. Thanks for watching. We are firing the BuddyBox system up. We got Mr. Larry as the instructor, and we have, what is your name?
Patrick.
We got Patrick on the sticks flying the trainer AeroSout. This is a Nomad trainer.
Safe and
No,
unsafe.
safe is on.
Okay.
You got it.
No, you got it. Throttle cut might be off. No, it should be on. No. Wait, hold on.
I don't have
Hold on.
throttle no matter what.
Instructor control.
You had touch.
You got it. Instructor control.
All right.
Still don't have it. Still don't have it.
Gotta switch it down.
Got it.
There you go.
Instructor control.
Oh.
You got it.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
Let me see something. I like to say.
Last minute checks for the instructor. And he's letting the pilot take off. And the trainee is up.
It wants to go way down.
It might need to be adjusted, Mr. Larry.
Instructor control.
Full power, full power, full power. Get it straight and then put it out of safe and see if it needs to be trimmed.
Because it wanted to nosedive on me.
You know what? We was going with the wind. I think
You needed more power. It looks like it's flying pretty level now. Is that off safe?
Yep.
So it didn't need any adjustment, right?
No.
Okay. All right, let's try it again. You're giving way too much stick movement, which is something I noticed with all the birds you've been flying.
My throttle is.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it back on.
It might be doing a little diving though. Give it a little elevator.
A little bit.
So, perfect situation for this bird, folks. You saw the trainer pilot kind of started dipping down really bad. So now the pilot instructor has taken it back and he's trimming it a little bit just because, you know, maybe a little CG issue, a little nose heavy perhaps, I don't know. But we just did a test flight and it was fine, so who knows. The wind wasn't blowing, that's what it was. It was completely calm when we started and now it's kind of gusty. All right, now he is flying straight and level.
Put it at right there. And you ready?
Ready.
You got it.
You got it. I'm on the sticks just in anything happens. Keep your throttle at 50%. Keep your thumb on it though. Yeah, that's cool. Could have got off a little bit.
That's it. The trainer pilot is flying on his own.
So now when you go, turn towards the lake.
And the instructor is giving him
Okay.
case-by-case instructions on how to do it.
Make sure you still keep that nose up just like. And always when you're too low, we say too low. You don't go full throttle, but just, you know, anything right at 50 or a little past 50 should be good. Now come down. You need to come down. Yep. Let off the throttle a little bit and still come down. All right, there, that's good. Perfect. 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 Give it a little more throttle, a little bit. There you go. There you go. Keep the nose up when you turn. Perfect. Now it's gonna go a little faster when you turn because you're going with
Does
the
not
wind.
want to turn.
Bank hard, bank hard. There you go. It's gonna turn. Believe me, it's gonna turn. Now this time when you do, make your big turn and come over the runway.
Okay.
Same way you did the last time. All right, start dropping now. Not the throttle, but the elevator.
Ah, flew over.
That is kind of the purpose of this. You went the wrong direction there with your elevator, with your aileron, but it's part of the process.
There you go. I think it's a little side. All right, so I'm gonna take over since we got
Instructor control.
since we're low on battery. I took it like
I don't think we are low on battery. I never set that timer.
okay, I was.
So yeah, take your time.
Yep. Left to go right. You don't have to go right over the runway. Go ahead, that's what you do. I try to come right down the runway. Give it a little power. When you turn, always give it a little power. Yeah, do the same thing. Come low again like that again. Drop the throttle. But remember, now you got the wind. So you kind of drop the throttle. Come lower, a little lower. See, I want you to be able to control the plane. I want the plane to do what you want it to do. Come down lower. There you go. There you go. Now don't go no lower than that. Go right there. That's you. That's you. That's you. Now when you come out of that, give it some throttle and turn. Doesn't matter which way you turn. I would go up, 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 up. Don't ever turn and throttle and don't go up until you become an expert. Let off the throttle. No, down, 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 down. You perfect, dude. Just keep going. Keep going. Drop the throttle. Drop the throttle.
Instructor control.
My bad. I thought you was gonna. I got it. Yeah, that was
Almost a perfect landing, but a decent flight overall, folks. And the instructor had to take it at the last second. He got a little nervous, and he probably had it, but he got a little nervous. And hopefully that's what this is all about, you know. And then we can do this again without a crashed aircraft.
Yep.
Hey, folks. I know people always want to see it done on an NX radio, so I figured I would go ahead and do it. Really, this was what happened. We used it. We put it right to use. I'm probably going to include some of that footage on this video of firing it up at the field. We have lots of needs for this. People always come out, and it's going to be awesome for us to just have a bird on standby that we can let them fly and have already connected to a BuddyBox, so there's no extra work to be done. So, having said that, I'll bring up the issue. The issue came in when my IX radio, you know, we were out there with a guy for like 5-6 flights, and then, you know, that's extra hours on my IX radio, and, you know, those things are already maybe more weight temperamental than these things are, so why would I do that when I got one of these sitting in the box? And that'd be the perfect setup I can hand to anybody comfortably, the NX, because it's lightweight, easy to deal with, and not have to worry about it. They come back, they have all kinds of stuff clicked on my screen, they don't know where they are, they don't know what they're looking at. So the easy fix for that is to put it on the NX10. That way I could even fly if I got somebody else on the trainer. I could fly with my IX. So let's go ahead and fire it up. It's on test bird. I am going to hold these two buttons over here. Yep, and at the bottom it says add new binding fly. If it was on the IX, I think it'll be on the NX. So let's go to look at the wing. It says hobby zone, AeroSout binding fly. That's what we're gonna use. All right, import. All right, when that's finished, I'm gonna go ahead and it's got it created. I'm going to plug in a battery. Never mind, let me do the bind plug thingy. All right, bind plug inserted. The reason why I was gonna do the push button thingy, but then that is kind of hard because birds that don't get activated unless you have the bind plug in or you hold the button down while you plug the power in, which is really hard to do by yourself. So all right, I got it plugged in. My receiver's blinking. I'm gonna go to Bind. Bind. Alright, bind completed. It's shake twice. I'm gonna just stay on the radio. Right, left, up, down. Right, left. Alright, and it's still giving me a low battery. Alright. Hit that back button to get out of that. So alright, my AeroSout is working. Let me check safe mode. Alright. Alright, safe mode on, safe mode off. Everything seems to be working. The intermediate mode is doing this little weird switch. It does different than the E-Flight birds. I'm ready to go. Let's try power. Alright, my throttle cut. Alright, so I'm gonna reverse that because I hate that being. Alright, back. Now it should go. Alright, throttle is down. No throttle. Click it up. Throttle. Alright, everything is set up. Let's see how the rates look. Throttle cut again. Aileron. Let's give them a good 20% because they're going to be jittery fingered. Alright. It's on switch C. I probably switched that to switch. Alright, so my aileron is 70. Oh, what am I doing? I didn't lock it in. Alright, so up is 120. Then I got 70 and 10. You guys don't need to see all this. My third rate is going to match. So, you know, we'll leave that like it is. That's the way the AeroSout set up. That's fine. If I need to add more, I'll add more. But for the most part, you don't need that. I'll go through the other rates, even the rudder and the elevator. The elevator, let's do that. Because the elevator, in case I forget, the elevator is the one that you need to adjust. Let's go 30% expo on that elevator because it's touchy. Alright. It's on C, that's fine. Yep, so 100 and 70. Let's do some 70 and 20. Alright, back. I don't need anything on rudder. And if I do, I'll do it later. Not for you guys to be worried with. Alright, we are ready to fly. The bird is ready to go. Now I'm going to go into... I could fly it, but I'm not. I wanted to connect it to the trainer, right? Alright, I'm not super familiar with the menus on here, but I am just going to look for the one that says trainer. It's probably going to be in the next menu. System setup. Take your prop off if you're going to do it with the aircraft on. Trim utilities, pre-flight bind, serial trainer. Alright, wireless, trainer. Wireless inhibit. Inhibit standard instructor, pilot link instructor, FPV. So of course we're gonna go with that pilot link because that's the one I used before and that's the one that works perfect. I don't want to deal with the other method unless I have somebody who I'm gonna connect my radio to their bird, that way everything can be matched. This is gonna put everything on the NX10 for everything. Alright, so I'm gonna click it. So now it changed everything from where it was. So it's just giving them the top 4, but I am going to give them the top 5 because I want them to be able to turn safe off and kind of train with that. But you know, when you're training a person, they don't have to turn safe off. They don't even know anything about it until you tell them about it and say, all right, this switch here is your safe mode. You can turn it off. So I'll leave that switch on and leave everything else off. This switch I don't want that. I'm gonna flick that to gear. All right. Master override active. Yep, active. That way, anytime I touch any controls on the master radio, it's going to take over. All right. I don't know how to get to bind right there, but That's weird. Pilot instructor. Alright, I don't know NX radios very well, but this is very stupid for it not to go to bot. Oh, you see that? It's a weird thing. I've been clicking past that. You saw me click past it a few times. Alright, I'm going to click that. I'm going to go ahead and get the other radio. Push this down. Let go. Still holding by. Trainer bind. Alright. Alright. So this radio has control. I'm going to flip the switch. And it talked.
Volume 100. Instructor has control.
So, the instructor has control.
Student has control. Instructor has control.
So I can take it back whenever I want. Student has nothing. Alright. Throttle cut is on the master. Throttle cut is on. I don't know. Let's see. I think it's backwards on these radios. So let's see what that happens. I'm going to give it back. Alright.
Student has control.
Alright. I overrided it. So now student has control. Alright. Let me see something.
Instructor has control. Student has control.
I feel like the surfaces move a little bit differently than they do. Alright, I'm going to give it some throttle. Alright, no throttle. I'm going to flip this switch on the student radio. And still no throttle. So I like that. It's going to keep the throttle off until I give it control on the master. That way a student can't hurt himself or anything. That's a cool feature. So right now student still has it. I'm going to hit the throttle cut. He should be able to go now. Alright, let's see. His is off. Alright, so that's a good setup. That's pretty much all you need to do. Everything on here should be matched, which it doesn't look like it is.
Instructor has control.
And it makes a little vibration too when you take control. It makes a little vibration too, so.
Student has control.
Yeah, it's almost like it's limited, but that's something that I need to work out. Oh, it has rates on the student radio still. That's pretty cool. And then your safe mode. So everything's operating. So that's all I got to say about that. That's the end of this part that I just wanted to show how to use your wireless trainer. Even with these radios with no computers to read out, you can just bind to them, and then this thing does everything for you. Boom, boom, bam. You're good. You got the pilot in the air. You got your trainer in the air. Thanks for watching. Pooley out.